Welcome to this video tutorial where we will walk you through the methodological steps for monitoring marine litter on the seafloor using visual census with scuba or snorkeling. By watching this video tutorial, divers and marine litter practitioners will learn how to select the survey site, when and how often to perform the survey, how to conduct the visual observation process, and how to carry out the classification of the litter items observed. By the end of this tutorial, you will know how to generate fit-for-purpose, reliable, and comparable data, meeting the requirements of the European Union Marine Strategy Framework Directive, Descriptor 10, and the Barcelona Convention Integrated Monitoring and Assessment Program, Ecological Objective 10. Let's dive in. Before any seafloor litter survey begins, the site to be monitored should be selected taking into consideration certain criteria. Sites should be selected to consider areas that might accumulate litter, avoid areas of risk, such as locations characterized by the presence of munitions and other hazardous waste, as well as sensitive ecological zones, prevent disturbance to endangered or protected species, steer clear of areas with strong currents or waves, avoid vessel navigation routes to minimize diver risk. The selection process typically follows a twofold approach: identifying sites based on specific criteria, proximity to ports, river mouths, urban areas, etc., and randomly selecting from a wide range of potential sites. The minimum sampling frequency for any site should be annually, ideally at a consistent time of year. The sampling unit, the section of the seafloor that will be surveyed, is defined by the transect width and length. Distances should be determined either by laying out a 100-meter tape measure or alternatively by laying out a 100-meter length of weighted rope across the bottom. The start and end point of each transect should be identified with marker buoys and recorded using a GPS. The length of the line transects should vary between 50 to 100 meters, and the width from 4 to 8 meters, depending on the depth gradient, the turbidity, the habitat complexity, and the litter density. A typical sampling unit has a length of 100 meters and a width of 2 meters on each side of the nylon line. The following items are necessary to carry out seafloor litter surveys: scuba gear and equipment, mesh sack, underwater digital camera, GPS, recording sheets and pencils, measuring tape and/or rope. The Seafloor Macrolitter Survey Protocol with visual census and scuba snorkeling refers to the procedural method for conducting a seafloor macrolitter survey, and it includes a classification list of litter types. All macrolitter items, defined as items larger than 2.5 centimeters in their longest dimension, should be recorded. If litter items are found in extremely high numbers, A smaller transect should be used instead of the 100-meter transect, thus saving effort and time. To ensure that all macrolitter items found in the sampling unit are recorded, it is essential to deploy a systematic sampling approach. All items found on the seafloor of the sampling unit need to be recorded and, if possible, removed. Items entangled in seaweed or other natural materials should also be considered. Large or heavy items should just be marked and not removed. All items collected from the sampling unit should be brought ashore, where they must be classified by type according to the joint list of marine litter items categories prepared by the MSFD Technical Group on Marine Litter. The manual for applying the joint list classification system provides detailed information on how to classify litter items, and a complementary photo guide helps the surveyors identify and categorize the litter items. The joint list includes 183 different types of litter items, which have been given a unique identification number. Each litter item collected should be classified and entered on the seafloor litter monitoring sheet for shallow waters. Unknown litter, or items that are not on the survey sheet, should be noted in the appropriate Other Item box. A short description of the item should also be included on the survey sheet. The unit in which litter should be recorded is number of items, and it should be expressed as counts of litter items per 100 square meters, or counts of litter items per square kilometer. Once the survey is completed, all litter collected should be disposed of properly. Regulations and arrangements that apply in the area should be followed. Proper monitoring of our seas generates fit-for-purpose data that are essential in developing evidence-based strategies and policies to mitigate the adverse effects of marine pollution on marine life, coastal communities, and ecosystems. Now that you know how, join the collective effort and make an impact.